One, and welcome to a brand new episode of Let Us Talk to You. Yeah, where's LA Knight when you need him? I've got our usual suspects, Bobby's Breakdowns, Zero News. I'm Tyler Peters on behalf of WrestleBuddy.com. And gentlemen, how are we doing? How are we feeling? I need some energy. I need some of the Bobby's Breakdowns energy, man.
Well, I'll try, man. I'm tired, but I'm happy to be here. Let's do it. Let's talk SummerSlam. Let's talk a lot of stuff. Anything that comes up, really. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Zero, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, hey, it makes sense. Hey, that's got the title in it and LA Knight. But hey, we're going to be talking about our early SummerSlam predictions, gentlemen. So some of them are obvious. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. I think too. What do you guys see that? I mean, for sure, I think that's pretty obvious.
You can go first, Zero.
What was that? Sorry, my thing was off my head.
No, you're okay. I was going to say that here's an obvious one: Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. I mean, do you see it happening at SummerSlam? I have to ask it. I know it's probably a silly question.
Yeah, I do. I could also see as well, possibly Jimmy as special guest referee, potentially.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, to really add to it, and then sees like which side Jimmy's actually on, basically. So, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Amanda.
Hello,
She's in
Amanda.
the chat, Amanda Jones. Yeah, what's going on?
I don't see Jimmy. I love disagreeing with Zero. I don't see Jimmy being the special guest referee. I think they wrote him off. I think he's off till SummerSlam. I think just to make it Jey and Roman, to make it look like Jay's got to do this on his own. That's just my opinion. But Jey versus Roman, SummerSlam main event is 100. I would say 99.9999% official.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's got to be. I can't see any other match that they would do. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
I'm kind of making out my SummerSlam card right now. I want to see.
No, go ahead. I think that makes a lot of sense. There's nothing wrong with writing it down. I think we're definitely going to see Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, especially after SmackDown. What about the Tribal Court? Let's discuss it. I mean, we're fresh off of it. That was incredible. What were your guys' impressions of Roman kneeling down, teasing that he was going to pass the mantle to Jey Uso? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll take this one if you don't mind, Zero.
Yeah, go on then.
Roman Reigns cried, and not even like that fake blubbering. There were tears coming down his face. I sat there and I was like, wow. Like, it's almost like he has a cousin that's a famous actor.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, because he never shows up.
I don't know who that is. But holy moly, I think the segment went 40 minutes-ish, if I remember correctly.
A long time, at least half an hour or more.
It was only meant to go 15 minutes.
There's no way you could have done that in 15 minutes. There's no way. I'm okay with it. But as the kids say, cinema at its finest. I thought it was phenomenal. Well done. Roman's acting is incredible. All their acting is incredible, quite frankly.
No, I agree. And Zero, I mean, what did you think? Pardon me. I mean, what a segment that was.
It was a good segment. It just went a bit too long for me. I mean, it went 40 minutes. I understand, yes, it's that. If it was main event, then possibly it could have gone to 40 minutes. But when you're opening the shop, you don't really want to go like that long, really, in my eyes. But I mean, otherwise, it was it was fine. The way it was done was fine. It just went too long for me, massively too long.
I enjoyed it. I respect your perspective. I just felt like you guys were relaying it with cinema. The way that Roman Reigns and the Usos and Solo and Paul Heyman, I mean, they've all just been so instrumental in this whole bloodline saga that you can't take your eyes away from it. It has been some just incredible storytelling. So a lot of credit goes to them and WWE's creative and the way they're doing this. They're executing it. I mean, I think they're even doing it so well that they don't know what twists and turns to do next. I mean, that goes to tell you something. And so, yeah, I think we're going to get, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam in Detroit coming up in early August. What if we get the triple threat between Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca? Do you think they're going to save that for SummerSlam?
I just wrote that down.
Yeah.
You
I don't know
did?
if you can see it. Oh, wait, I wrote Asuka versus Charlotte versus Asuka. I meant Bianca. I just realized I messed that one up. But yeah,
No, you're okay.
I believe that has to go down at SummerSlam because is it Asuka versus Bianca this coming Friday? Did I dream that? Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. No, it is this Friday coming up. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's the ideal match for SummerSlam. It would be great too. So, what do you think, Zero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Zero.
I do. Yeah, I personally agree. I do think it is going to happen at the triple threat at SummerSlam, and I don't know. I could either see a cash-in happen during it, or if not a cash-in, that maybe that we have a bit of a twist and we end up seeing Charlotte Flair walking out with the gold instead.
Hey, I have nothing against Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't mind Asuka holding on to the title, but I could see it even going back to Bianca. There's a lot of different directions you could go about it, but I think you got to put these ladies on a big card like SummerSlam. Nothing against SmackDown or Raw. You want those shows to feel big, but you also want your premium live event to have that expectation, because I know it's not SummerSlam, but it's next to it. I know it's not WrestleMania. Pardon me. But it's close to what you have for your biggest event for the summer.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The only thing is though, is I can see that they go ahead and do like what they've been doing recently, where some of it happens on like the SmackDowns and stuff like that before, because Triple H is a weird one. He only likes shorter pay-per-views. So obviously you got to think all the talent and stuff that they want to get on the cards. He only likes pay-per-views that are only like 7 or 8 matches basically on it, but then there'll be longer matches. So it's
true.
So yeah, so that's the thing. So I can see maybe they put some on the SmackDown or stuff like that as well, because obviously they've got to try and please the networks as well. So they want to give Fox something, because of course if Peacock's getting all the big matches, say like Roman and Jimmy and stuff like that, Fox are going to be like, well, what are we going to have? Basically, it's they're going to be, what are we going to have? So if they'll probably offer them something like, I don't know, maybe the triple threat, maybe one of the other big matches or whatever that we're going to get for it, just to obviously please Fox and everything like that. And that way then also Triple H hasn't got a pay-per-view with like 10, 11 matches on it.
Yeah, you got to think of the networks. That's a great point. Yeah. And also, too, I think for the IC title, we've got to have Gunther versus Drew. You got to put this on the SummerSlam card. Some of these are just obvious, the way they're building them and the way the story's going. What do you guys think?
I think it's a given, Drew versus Gunther. Now, does Drew win? I don't know, because Gunther is so close, but they could also pull the trigger to make Drew happy and to have somewhat of a major title change, because Roman is beating Jey. I'm assuming it's Seth versus Balor again. I don't think that change is happening. Rhea Raquel, no. Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca, no. Yeah, they could. I don't know, but I don't know if because Drew wanted to come back with a decent story. So would he come back just to lose? I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm going to disagree with you here, Bobby. I think Drew does. Yeah, I think Drew does take the. I think Drew does take the loss because of the whole Gunther's so close in that they want it to be the Honky Tonk Man's record and stuff like that. So
I just saw him yesterday, the Honky Tonk Man.
Fair enough. Yeah, so yeah.
You saw the Honky Tonk Man yesterday?
Yeah, I was at a convention in Secaucus, New Jersey, and he was there. A bunch of people, but I walked by his table. I'm like, Honky Tonk Man. He's like, "How you doing, sir?" I'm like,
I'm jealous because I like the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
Wayne Ferris.
I personally can see that they're going to have Gunther beat the record because, of course, like what we said, they're all about records and stuff like that, history books at the moment. So they're gonna have him beat the Honky Tonk Man's record, definitely. Which he's still, I think he's about 100 days out. So obviously come SummerSlam, that's going to be nowhere near. So you're looking probably about September, October time, I reckon, if anything. You know, for it. So the title change I can actually see happening. I could potentially see either the tag titles or the World Heavyweight Championship. Right.
Interesting. See, my thing with Drew, I think you could have him lose at SummerSlam. Lose at Payback again, because I don't think by the time Payback rolls around, Gunther will have it. Then at Fastlane, you could do Drew versus Gunther, something like if Drew loses. I may have said this before. Something like if Drew loses, he'll leave the WWE if he doesn't win the Intercontinental title. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, make Fastlane a decent pay-per-view, you know.
I mean, there is rumors that that there is going to be Starrcade coming back in December for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a rumor. There
I did not hear of that, but that's exciting.
Starrcade potentially coming back. That could be the new December pay-per-view because, of course, Triple H wants to get rid of gimmick pay-per-views. So he's getting rid of so he's obviously got rid of TLC and stuff like that. So obviously, where he wants to get rid of that, bring back Starrcade and that'll be treated as like a major. He's going to treat that as like one of the, obviously not one of the big five because you can't really include like Starrcade into that, but he's going to make it a big show, sort of similar to like the MSG shows and stuff, because of the whole history.
He's going to respect him.
Yeah, because of like the whole history of like WCW and stuff like that, and like what he like, you know, he's a massive fan of like WCW and everything like that, and like what they did, and you know, and everything like that. So he's kind of he appreciates the WCW stuff. So that's going to be. It's only a rumor going around at the moment, but it's a very strong rumor. For it, I should say.
No, I hope it does come to fruition because I think Triple H is a student of the game, literally. I mean, you can tell it wasn't just WWF stuff. He watched the NWA. He emulated Ric Flair. So I'm just so thrilled that he's going to actually make Starrcade. Doesn't have to be as big as like any of your premium live events, but it needs to be, you know, heralded as a big time show because of the history of its past. And I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, like I said, I do believe from what I've heard is it's going to be sort of similar to the MSG shows where they have, you know, you're going to have some big things in that on it. It's not going to be like, for example, like your WrestleManias or your SummerSlams or something like that, but, you know, it's going to be sort of as big as, you know, as big as an MSG show, really.
I got you. I mean, Bobby's breakdowns, are you happy about Starrcade possibly coming back?
I mean... the December time is very weird in wrestling because like it's kind of slow. It's right after Survivor Series. You're kind of waiting till the new year. But I mean, if they can host a solid enough show, why not? You know, hey. But I also wouldn't mind them just giving them the guys some days off. You know.
Yeah, I think days off for anybody would be nice. And hey, also, I think the way they've been teasing it. I have for an early SummerSlam prediction, and I can't wait to have you guys, hear your responses. In other words, Raquel Rodriguez, I think it looks like she could be the one challenging Rhea Ripley. I mean, are we going to see this at SummerSlam? I mean, whoever wants to go first.
I wrote it down. Raquel versus Rhea. I think when Liv and Raquel hit the ring the other day, Liv checked on, I believe it was Natalya.
Yeah.
No, it was on Raw.
Yeah, but when Raquel got into the ring, Raquel just started eyeing down Rhea. So I'm like, all right, there's my sign. I think have we seen them one-on-one on the main roster?
Not on the main roster, I don't believe. Yeah. Now, you guys can correct me. I know we've seen it in NXT, but to see it on the main roster is going to be just as exciting because they can recreate it. And let's give Rhea Ripley and Natalya a lot of credit. What a match that was this past week on Raw from Baltimore. That's easily one of my favorite matches out of the men and women's. Those two were hitting hard. This now I understand why they may have had her squash her a few times. It's to build this kind of matchup together. I mean, the story they were telling, I liked how Natalya was coming back after her attacking Rhea, like similar to how Rhea was doing her. I mean, talk to us about that a little bit, that Ripley Natalya match.
Sorry.
You just yawn then.
Sorry. I told you I'm tired. Man, I was playing softball this morning, and just the position I played, everybody hit to me. And by the end of it, I'm like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, he's wore out, so he's got an excuse. But.
Oh, right, okay.
I came in, and I was so gassed. The other team was like, hey, who's up hitting? And they were like, oh, the left fielder's up. They were like, oh, no. Take your time. We know what happened to him. And I'm like, yeah.
I thought you were yawning about the match. That's why I said, did you yawn?
No,
I was going to be shocked.
It was a great match. I thought it was a great match. I was shocked by it. I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, is this match as good as I think it is? And I checked Twitter, and everyone was like praising it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. So I was very impressed with Rhea and Natalya, and if Natalya can do this, I'd be all for it going forward. Have matches like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well. I had to, respect what they were able to do in the ring and bring it up, since we are talking about the Rhea Ripley in the women's division. Zero, I mean, what are your feelings? Are we going to see Raquel Rodriguez be the one to challenge Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I originally thought obviously it might have been Becky, because Becky's then taken a break after SummerSlam, but obviously now Becky's going to be going for Trish, so we're definitely going to get Raquel, because there's nobody else really either, is there? That's the problem. They've done it.
No,
there really is nobody else. That's the problem with it.
I think you're correct. I think even though they've got the talent, you can have depth, but it's pairing the right people together. I mean, you got to have those two dance partners. So you're onto something there. And what about this match? Now, it's kind of been teased before. Do we see LA Knight having a match against Austin Theory? I mean, who are some other possible opponents for maybe a title? Yeah, United States title. I mean, Zero, Bobby's Breakdowns. Whoever wants to go first. I can't wait to hear their perspective on this.
I want to watch the world burn, and I want to see Theory retain over LA Knight. That's what I want.
Yeah, I should have known. You're not a big LA Knight fan or a CM Punk fan.
And I love Austin.
I'm shocked.
So I love Austin Theory. I think he's great.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Zero?
I can see that match going on, but I don't know whether, I hate to sort of agree with Bobby, because I don't like agreeing with Bobby, but I can see Austin Theory maybe winning it to then keep building up LA Knight a little bit more. So then, because that's obviously Triple H said at that press conference, good things come to those who wait. So unless they're obviously going to make us wait and he gets a massive win at, say, WrestleMania or someone next year, basically, just it builds it up more. But I do like him, but I don't know whether it's the time to pull the trigger yet and give him that mid-card, title and everything like that. When people don't really want him to win the mid-card. They want him big, kind of, so a world heavyweight champion or something like that. And yeah, I can't remember who I said it to earlier on, but somebody put something out like, who can you see beat Roman Reigns? Actually, I think it could have been Alex on the main account. He put something out earlier on, and I just sent over a picture of LA Knight, and I was just like, imagine if LA Knight beats Roman Reigns for the titles.
No,
that would make the world burn.
Yeah, I'm with Bobby's Breakdowns. I'm not sure I'm ready for LA Knight to go over Roman Reigns or be the choice to do that. But I do appreciate what LA Knight's been able to do. I mean, those reactions. And even though he wasn't featured on Friday Night SmackDown, the show from Madison Square Garden, just this past Friday night, I do love that he came out. Hit Row was making fun of New York, and all of a sudden, the exclusive, or however WWE does it, you see LA Knight come out and yeah, I think the reports are you got to turn him babyface. They were wanting him to be heel or maybe somewhere in between, but the way that everybody's reacting, at least that's what I'm reading. What are your guys' kind of estimation on where the LA Knight character should go, since we're talking about that?
Wait, quick question. That happened? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
on Twitter. It's on social media. It
Oh,
just
that's
they
why.
just released
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It wasn't
so
on the
he beat up
show.
Hit Row. I like Hit Row. Well,
Yeah.
one of Hit
No.
Row.
Yeah, they were in the. I remember seeing it. Yeah, it was all over the. He came out, didn't he, and that, and I was done that way. It's to do with turning him babyface. They are gradually turning him. I can't see it being done anytime soon, but they are gradually, slowly doing it. So maybe he takes the loss to Theory at SummerSlam and then turns after that. I don't know how they would obviously work it really. So
Very possible.
yeah.
I could see this match being the SmackDown before. Where's the Go Home show? Does anybody know? It's in the same.
I'm not sure.
It can't be in the same arena because
No, but hang on.
Ford Field.
I'll have
It's
a
got to
quick
be in
look.
Detroit somewhere, I would think.
Let me have a quick look. Hang on 2 seconds. Once it actually decides it wants to do something.
Well, the LA Knight character should go straight to Impact.
He should go to Impact. He should return. LA Knight. I can't help it. Much to the chagrin of Bobby's breakdowns, I am a fan of LA Knight. The guy's just got it on the mic. I like the way he works in the ring, and I'm happy for him. I think he was in NXT before. I didn't even realize this, but I think Chris Van Fleet or whoever was interviewing him, and that's how I kind of learned about it. And then going to Impact and reinventing himself. Now look at what he's doing with Triple H. Kind of let him be himself, and not the Maximum Male Models manager because they felt like his age. He should have. Even though to be with Maxine Dupree, that's not a bad gig, but I digress. That's for another podcast. But anyways, LA Knight, it was just really cool. I just had also the SmackDown segment. That's why I bring it up. And I like Austin Theory. I don't know that Austin Theory needs to lose either. I kind of like the long title reigns, unless it makes sense.
Yeah, just going back to Bobby's thing, the SmackDown the night before is in Ohio. It says it's at Wright Center University, Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, Ohio?
Yeah,
Ryan left a comment. Yeah. Yo, who is Bobby's Breakdown's editor? He's kind of nice with it. I love that compliment. Or is it hopefully a compliment?
Yeah, gee, I wonder who that is complimenting my editor. Maybe it's my editor. Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. Makes sense. Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. Got to put yourself in somehow.
I need an editor not only with writing but my own speech a lot of the time. So hey, we all gotta have one. But no, hey, thanks for joining, Ryan, and everything. So I'm going to move on. Who do we think? Cody Rhodes definitely. I mean, Brock Lesnar. That's got to be another sequel.
Oh. How did I not put that match on there? Oh my God! I know, I don't something.
And I don't know why I had to stutter there. I even had it wrote down, and I was confusing myself. My goodness, there'll be bloopers before this thing's over. But I think that's a given.
Sorry. I was looking at my list, and I said, "There's one I'm forgetting. I just don't know what." And as soon as you said Cody Brock, I said, "Oh yeah." Hey, Zero.
Yeah, Zero's chiming in, and he's got another one too. Let me show that comment too. There's another one.
Better than the guy in the video.
And Ryan's also commenting back.
Fuck Zero.
Dang it!
So we got a nice exchange.
Oh man, hold on.
And he says the fact Zero. Ryan does. So thank you, Ryan, for all the comments.
Hi, Zero.
What's Bobby's replying then? So I might as well say to this one then. Yeah, Cody and Brock are definitely going to happen. I don't know what the stipulation is going to be though. I've heard a few things. You could have
bull rope.
I don't know. Yeah,
is it going to be the bull rope like Dusty, like the common man?
Yeah, either bull rope or maybe even first blood. There's been a lot of bleeding between them. Yeah, there's been a lot of bleeding between those two. So you never know.
The only issue I have with First Blood is Brock's real life issues caused him to bleed real quick.
Yeah.
So that could be a problem. And again, it's his real life issue, so but that could cause an issue.
Yeah.
It's something to look out for. Maybe they want to be careful on the blood. I didn't know Brock had that kind of issue, so I'm learning something all the time. Oh, here's a good one, and we'll definitely get to it, Ryan. Carlito coming back at SummerSlam.
Dude, I thought he was coming back at MSG. I was waiting. I was waiting, and I've met the guy. So nice. I insulted him low key, but he's so nice. I told him I watched him when I was little, and he was like, "Oh, cool." Like I know he felt old, but you know, I hope. Ooh, what about this? What about this? I'm booking this right now. Theory retains against LA Knight.
Yeah.
Carlito interrupts Theory.
It can work.
Come on.
The thing is, though, is obviously I'm going to chirp in here, obviously, about Carlito. I don't think he signed. Throughout all the rumors and stuff like that, I don't think he signed. No.
Please to break our hearts.
The reason behind it is because I noticed a comment from him the other day. Now, he was obviously, somebody asked him, a fan asked him basically whether he would ever go to AEW. Now, obviously, if he signs to WE, he wouldn't be allowed to even comment back on it. That's obviously like part of the rules. And he simply responded back with, if Tony Khan offered me a massive bag, you're talking 6 figures, I would join. So obviously, so if he's saying stuff like that, like if Tony offered him 6 figures, he would join. Now, my question would be, why would he even be talking about that, about joining AEW if...
Throw people off?
Well, yeah, I would throw people off.
Yeah, swerve.
Yeah, swerve or whatever, but I mean, he'd obviously have to have got permission to do that because normally you're not allowed to if you're under contract with WWE because there's a lot of restrictions on it as well with it about what you talk about and stuff, really.
He's also a part-timer, so I mean, different rules, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know because also actually on this subject, then I might as well say this one. Tyler Breeze, for example. Have you seen the thing about him?
Yeah.
I have not. You guys elaborate, please.
He's been back for over a year now with the actual company, but as part of his contract, even though he's not actually on TV, he's only actually contracted to WWE for Up, Up, Down, Down. But he is banned from appearing on anything to do with AEW. Whether that means see weekly shows, whether that means it's any like of their social media stuff or whatever, his contract's actually a restriction from doing that. And all he's actually contracted to is Up, Up, Down, Down. So if they've got something like that, obviously got something like that underneath a contract like that, that's obviously what's making me think Carlito, wouldn't be able to speak about it, even if he is a part-timer, really, for it. I mean, it could be throwing a cent off if he's obviously got permission, but I don't think he signed, personally.
I hope he does. I think he's great.
I hope he does, too, Bobby's breakdowns. In Zero News, did he announce that he was... or at least address the rumors at an independent show a while back, or maybe I read that wrong or saw it incorrectly.
He did and didn't.
Okay.
He was at some kind of show, and he grabbed the mic and he said the rumors are true, and then it turned into I did teach Vikingo how to do all of his moves, so he was kind of teasing it, but not. But he still pulled out of all the indie shows in July. So
it makes you wonder that he didn't sign with somebody.
Yeah. So something's going on. Like if you
something's up there.
Show, that's cool. But to drop all of your indie dates going forward, something's up.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Hey, also too, I think this is pretty obvious. Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I mean, at SummerSlam.
I had that. Yeah, and then Shayna beats her. Then Ronda goes away, I guess. Good riddance. Whatever. Yeah,
because she's already discussed, hey, this will probably be it. And why not put over Shayna if you're going to be on the way out anyways? Yeah. What do you think, Zero?
Yeah, I can see that happening at SummerSlam. They're not going to push that to another time. They're gonna do that at SummerSlam, and then she's going to be gone. And that. I mean, she might come back as like a special feature in maybe a couple of years, maybe like a year or something. They might have her for, say, I don't know, WrestleManias or whatever. But yeah, I can't see her doing anything else other than that. Really, it's going to be it.
Yeah, Bobby's breakdowns. I think I interrupted you, and I didn't mean to. Anything else to add? I mean, I was just making sure because I tend to do it. I'm guilty. So.
You're good. No worries. Not a big. I know I hate a lot of people, but 2018 to 2019 Ronda, I really enjoyed her work. I did. I thought she was great, and I guess she got turned on by the fans, and she's not exactly the best talker. But not everyone is great at talking or acting. Stuff happens. Whatever. I can deal with the bad acting, but ever since she came back, you can just see she does not care.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not the same Ronda, like you said. That first run, people were starting to buy into her because she was fresh off the UFC. That Holly Holm, where she took the loss, but she was presented kind of like how they would do Lesnar, even though it was different circumstances. But that's what you're saying. Maybe this run was just a means to get back to UFC, and she's been adamant about it. So it makes sense why she's working limited dates or only making the big appearances and trying to get people over or get just enough shine back on herself on the way out. I mean, is that fair to say, or am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it gets attention for sure. And like I said, I can deal with the bad acting. And, not everyone's meant to be a great actor. But when you clearly just check out and don't care, that's when I have a problem.
Well, and when the fans can see through that, that's where, like you said, it's a problem. They know, she's not caring. This is not the same Ronda Rousey, so you might as well, go on, because that's why that Shayna Baszler promo resonated, because there was a lot of truth. That was credibility. I mean, that's why. That was great.
Go ahead. To that promo was as soon as she comes out and she says, "I think we're all tired of hearing you stumble on the mic," and I was like, "Wow, that's too real." And I know they're friends, so they can get away with a lot more with each other. But wow, I was like, oof.
My jaw dropped, and I had to DVR and watch Raw later. But even I watched it on Twitter, the little clip WWE shared, and I was like blown away. Wow, this is really close to reality. I mean, even though these two are friends, so Zero. I mean, what's your takeaways from that promo to build into this match with Shayna and Ronda speaking truth like this?
I mean, like what Bobby said, they're friends, so they always get away with it, and they would have probably have gone and had a massively great laugh and stuff like that afterwards about it. But I think we're going to get a couple more weeks where Shayna's going to literally just destroy Ronda on mic and that on the microphone leading into the match. Personally, that's my kind of take on it, really.
No, I think I have to concur. And speaking of the Seth Rollins title situation, do you think it's going to be a triple threat, or is it going to be either Finn again or Damian? I mean, where do you guys see it? This was a tough one. I mean, it wasn't as easy for me to try to make a prediction here. So I'm leaving the floor to you all. I mean, who's going to face Seth at SummerSlam?
Zero, you can go if you want.
Finn, I reckon. Finn.
Oh, Finn.
And then, Finn, and then I reckon we're going to get the cash in for it. I do.
You think the cash-in comes? Interesting. I don't think the cash-in comes, but I do agree with Zero. It is going to be Finn and Seth again.
See, I had a triple threat because I was trying to think outside the box because you guys are saying a lot of good stuff because the cash-in, I didn't know if Damian would pull the trigger again or maybe just have a tease. So I didn't know if it would make sense maybe. But then I thought, well, you're kind of booking yourself into another corner if you got Damian in there. So, Finn and Seth makes sense because Seth is still involved doing stuff with Dominic on Monday night. He's kind of been in that background for Judgment Day, if you think about it. So, him and Finn probably having another match. And I think Trish versus Becky. I mean, but Zero, you continue. Any more on the Finn-Seth thing?
I mean, the Finn-Seth thing, I can obviously see it going there. And then maybe Finn beats Seth, and then Damian cashes in on Finn straight away. Because it was always planned that it was going to be, that the cash-in was going to be at SummerSlam, and if you think about it, it'd be a repeat. So sort of like Finn literally has overcome all the odds. He's done it. He's won and everything like that, and then just gets took away from him. So so he's there. I can't remember when it was, like when he first of all won, when he obviously first of all lost the Universal and that,
2016.
2016, yeah. So but it'll be done more quicker. So rather than coming out on the Raw afterwards, or heck, they do it on the Raw afterwards. Maybe Finn wins, he leaves, he comes into Raw, he's celebrating on Raw. Damien's the Judgment Day's music hits. Damien's in the ring. They're doing a segment with him. Damien hits him with something. 1, 2, 3, new champion, and they do that again just to just to end. So, but I can see it. Yeah, I can see a cash-in definitely coming either at the Raw after SummerSlam or at SummerSlam, and then Damien.
And it would keep people talking. No, for sure. And once again, didn't mean to cut you off, but I think Trish versus Becky's another one. I think we got to see it. Like, there's something about trilogies. We got Cody and Brock, and once again with between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark, I imagine it's going to still be with her aligned.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you guys? Do you have the Trish Becky match penciled in, or do you think we'll see something different?
Yeah, I've definitely got Trish Becky penciled in, but I think Trish might take the win because, like I said, Becky's due to leave after SummerSlam for a couple of months. Yeah, she's off for a couple of months after SummerSlam. Yeah,
Why?
I did not know.
Yeah, she's got pre-booked leave. I'm not sure how many months it is. It's a good couple of months. I don't think she's back until Survivor Series, so she's going to be off. It's going to be rest of August, September, October, coming back for November, so about 3 months basically. So I can see maybe Trish wins, and then Becky then leaves because she couldn't beat Trish or whatever in that, and she just literally disappears and comes back and either has a character change again, or if not a character change, then she just literally comes back and we kind of forget about it basically.
Do you think we see Lita coming back for revenge to team up with Becky? I mean, at any point, even after Becky Lynch takes time off? Right now, Lita's, taking time off. She's doing the most wanted treasures. Do you see a scenario, Bobby's Breakdowns? I'll go to you with this matchup. I'm already kind of thinking ahead, past it, where they could possibly go.
Lita? I'm not sure. Man, that's a tough one. I feel like she would have shown up at. Well, then you needed Trish to get the win. I mean, it's possible if Zoe gets involved. It's extremely possible. I'm not sure, though. If Trish is going to win, definitely not. But if Becky needs help, I could see Lita rocking up. Where's Lita from? Is she from?
Is she living in California, I believe, right now? I don't know where she's from originally. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe San Francisco. But I'm not sure about
close,
that.
I would have said she could pop over, but no, not really. Oh, yeah. I also forgot one. I think we also kind of forgot one match to add, but I'll get into that
please.
a little bit. Yeah.
No, and we will. I mean, Zero. Anything with Lita possibly returning, or with Trish winning? Do you see any chances?
I don't think Lita's going to be there. I mean, I've just Googled whilst we were waiting there, and she's from Fort Lauderdale, in Florida. So, I mean, I don't know where she's living now, but I know it says that she's billed from Fort Lauderdale. So that's
all right.
So, yeah. So, but no, I can't see her coming back. I think she's done, personally, done on the wrestling side of things. Like what we said, she's doing the most wanted treasures. And I do believe that her return, which we had last time, was just for that short little stint with Becky, and that maybe they might get her back for next year or something like that. But I can't see.
Yeah, she did what she needed to do.
Yeah, she did what she needed to do. Came in, done a couple of matches as agreed, bang, done, and then I can't see her being back anymore this year. Like I said, maybe next year.
Hey, what are we seeing about Io Scott, too? Let's not forget about the women's Money in the Bank winner. Is she going to cash in or do anything? Or maybe her and Bayley are going to – are there going to be any problems continuing with Damage Control? I mean, that's always kind of interests me. Because we're talking about Judgment Day, the Bloodline, and I feel like Damage Control, it's not that nobody's paying attention, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle at times to where that's still a pretty – prevalent storyline, and especially now, I don't think they're going to get us lost in the shuffle due to Io Sky being the Money in the Bank winner. I mean, what do you guys think? And then I'll go to Bobby's breakdowns. Other match he thinks is going to be on the card.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got everything around. Yeah. Zero, you go first.
Oof. I don't know really.
Throw him right to the wolves.
Maybe she does cash in, but fails in that because Bailey causes her to fail, and then that causes the damage control split up. So, because if you notice, whenever Io's been coming around, she's been passing the briefcase to Bailey, and then Bailey's been like, "Oh yeah, she's cashing in and stuff." So maybe just as Io's, so either maybe just as Io wants to cash in, Bailey takes the case off her to stop her from cashing in, or because Bailey gets jealous, like Io potentially is like Io gets it down for like 2.5 or whatever. She's got whoever's the champion at the time, so Flair or Bianca or Oscar or whatever, has them down 2.5 count, and then Bailey just pulls Io off during it to then cause her to lose. That could work, and then obviously the damage control split up after that for it.
Yeah, it's sensible. Bobby's breakdowns. What do you have for us?
I hope she holds it for a while. The women's case has been cashed in, within a day or two, the last, 4 winners or something like that?
She's the longest reigning briefcase holder at the moment. She's held it the longest time.
Yeah, second longest. Carmella.
Oh, yeah, Carmella, yeah. So, yeah.
At what? She's the second longest at 8 days? That's, come on. Yeah. As of right now, it's 8 days, yeah. We need to keep it on her for a little while. I wouldn't mind if she holds it for the rest of 2023. I really wouldn't.
It makes it feel more important because not that it's not significant if they cash it in quick, but there's so much you could probably do once you keep it on her. It makes it feel like any premium live event, any show, anything can happen, and just give us enough teases, but don't overdo it. I'm afraid sometimes you can overdo anything. And I see what you're saying. Keep it on her. Keep the intrigue of her having the Money in the Bank briefcase. And you had another match, Bobby's breakdowns, that we didn't add to the card. Please share with us.
Mr. Logan Paul versus Ricochet.
How could we forget those two?
Yep. Where Logan and Ricochet almost, killed themselves on the Money in the Bank spot. They're both okay, thankfully. But I think that could be a really good one-on-one match. And
I think it could steal the show.
Yeah. As of right now, I have 10 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. I think 10 matches for SummerSlam is pretty good.
Yeah, I think they'll add more due to it being SummerSlam. Zero. Bobby's breakdowns brought up a fantastic point and a match that I can't believe I glossed over was Logan Paul Ricochet. I think that's got to be added. I don't think you do it on Raw. The face-to-face is the build to it. Yeah, it makes sense for it to build to it. Yeah, you don't want to do that on a Monday Night Raw. Yeah,
Logan ain't wrestling on TV, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen at SummerSlam, but one of those other 10 matches, I can see 1 or 2 of them basically in SmackDown.
Yeah. I could see Theory versus somebody going there. I don't think they'll do the. Well, they do have. They could throw one of the women's matches on there. They could throw the SmackDown women.
We're forgetting another match as well. We're forgetting one of the other matches as well. What about what KO and Sammy are doing? Because you can't not have someone around the tag.
Yeah, you can't leave them out.
Yeah. That's a great point. Put them against.
I personally think it's going to be DIY because of the way they're teasing it.
Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah. That's what I think is that over the next couple of weeks, because what we got now, is it 4 weeks till SummerSlam or is it 3? So 3 or 4.
I'm not sure. It's around that time frame. Yeah, thank you, Bobby's breakdown. Somebody check it.
Yeah, it's the 5th of August, SummerSlam is. So we've got about, what's that, 4 weeks? Something like that?
Yeah, 4 weeks. A little under 4 weeks because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I can see then that over the next couple of weeks they're going to build it up, and obviously where Ciampa's back now, they're going to gradually bring Gargano in, and because all the teasers and all the hints and that are there. So I can personally see Gargano coming back in, and they're going to challenge KO and Sammy for SummerSlam. And potentially win, potentially take a set of titles off them, and that, whatever, I think, and that do that way. Yeah. Or maybe they take the loss on their first match back together, and then builds up to another match.
Yeah, it would be. be a little conflicting. And Gargano needs something. I mean, to me, I've kind of wondered about the booking, kind of like with Karen Cross. These guys were amazing, I thought, in NXT, or at least the potential. I know about Gargano. Karen Cross was getting there, and even coming back with Scarlett. And I'm not blaming creative necessarily all the time because it's up to the talent equally, but something seems to be missing, even with AJ Styles, this recent match. I don't know, with Karen Cross and then with Gargano. It's like he's either not been off of TV, or I don't know if it's an injury or what it is. Maybe they're just not using him, but it's like, so it depends on the storyline. So I hope we do get a DIY reunion. I think it would help Ciampa and Gargano on the main roster.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind that match at all, but I also don't want to get my hopes up and it not come through. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like getting disappointed. Yeah, so I don't want to get my hopes up either, Bobby's
Head in with
breakdowns.
no
But
hope, and you'll be excited. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
trying
absolutely.
so hard. I'm trying so hard to get the bar at my convention, because I'll be at a convention in SummerSlam weekend, another one, and I'm trying so hard for them to get it to play it at the bar. We're gonna watch it one way or
Cool.
another. We're gonna watch it one way or another. My buddy's bringing his laptop, but we're really trying to get them to put it on the TV. If we have to pay for it, whatever, we don't care.
Let's say
Yeah,
go
let's
for it. Either way.
We'll just watch it in the bar while we're getting drunk. That's cool.
Hey, it works. But hey, kind of moving on, I think, from the early SummerSlam predictions, it kind of relates to SummerSlam. Who's returning, gentlemen? I mean, we know Orton and The Fiend. We've heard that. There's Bobby Lashley, even though he's been advertised. I think they're kind of doing this on purpose, maybe saving him. Do we know kind of the timetable of injuries, too? Because this is where it gets complex when trying to figure out who within the company can return, and also what free agents from other companies could possibly surprise us in Detroit for SummerSlam. So, Zero, I'm going to go to you with this question first. Who do you see coming back, or who are you hearing other than The Fiend or Randy Orton or some other people?
That's it, basically, just The Fiend and Randy. I mean, personally, I can't see anyone else coming in, like being signed or anything else, until September, October time when the sale's finalised, because this is also what's making me think about Carlito, that he hasn't actually signed, because it's, from my understanding, last I heard, there was still a hiring freeze, because obviously during the sale and everything, it's now the last couple of months before it's going to finalise. You're going to want to try and cost save as much as possible, so you ain't going to be signing talent left, right, and centre to come on in. So that's the thing. Yeah, there's all these great talent out there and stuff, and you've had all the recent Impact leavers, but I can't see anyone coming in until possibly the Rumble. Maybe they'll sign in the end of the year after the sale's gone through, but because you've got to think this close, like I said, you're going to cost save now, as much as what you can do, and then cost save within the first month or two after you've acquired the company and after the company's all been merged and stuff. You're not going to start just spending money all over the place, especially millions to sign talent.
Right.
Ready for it. So I can't see anyone new coming on in, but Randy and The Fiend for sure. I've got to be back for SummerSlam, I would have thought. For sure.
Bobby's breakdowns. Anybody on your radar that you'd like to see return? That who knows if they will, but would like to.
I mean, it's the normal Orton, Fiend. I don't think Bray's coming. Lashley could be. I thought Lashley was coming at the SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm still sticking with it. Roman defeats Jay, then RKO out of nowhere, show goes off the air.
We see Orton.
Yeah, we see Orton. Boom, over. And I was like, that would be great. I know his back is hurting from the RKO, but he can do one. Like, come and do one. Then if you don't want to do the RKO after that, well, so be it. But Orton RKOing Reigns to end the show, I think would be great. To end SummerSlam. Or he returns after SummerSlam, the SmackDown after SummerSlam.
Both are possible. Zero, continue on. I mean, who would you like, or at least see coming back?
On those lines, I can see something slightly different. It's like what Bobby was saying. The end of Roman and Jay. Possibly, it depends whether really Roman's working. This all depends on whether Roman's actually working Payback or not.
Yeah,
is
true.
that if Roman's working Payback, that you potentially see the Fiend attack Roman, so they can then replay it then again at Payback. Because don't forget, that's when Roman officially won the title, and Bray,
It's got history.
yeah, it's got the
Oh yeah,
history,
Bray. Yeah.
Bray wasn't officially pinned for it, was he? Because Roman pinned
No.
Strowman for
No,
it.
I thought
So
he pinned Bray.
I don't think because
I got
Bray
it.
made that whole
Hey,
thing.
Bobby's
about it.
breakdowns is on assignment, folks. So if we need to know something, he's got it. Go ahead, Zero. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, because I'm sure that he pinned Strowman for it because of because Bray made that whole thing about because Bray made the whole thing about he never actually pinned me, but I still lost because he put that out ages ago on Twitter. So that's what I can see is maybe they replay that one and then finally Roman obviously beats Bray and everything for that match, and then they kind of they can then turn around and say, well, actually he has beaten you, Bray, for it. And then Bray can then move on to something else.
Right. That's how I was kind of thinking. If you're going to bring the Fiend back,
Okay.
and that kind of transitions to our last topic. If we do see Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, return, I mean, does he need a feud with Roman Reigns? That was from Alex, director. Shout out to him over at WrestleBuddy.com. Or does he need to replace Finn Balor as the leader of Judgment Day? I'm kind of like him. If he's going to be programmed to be, against Reigns, if he's going to come back, if you're not going to get Orton versus Reigns, I also like that scenario. What do you guys think, though, honestly?
To answer the last question, it was indeed Braun Strowman who got pinned. So that makes it interesting. Yeah. I could have sworn maybe he beat up Bray, and that's what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, no, I know that the reason why I said that was because I seen a tweet from Bray a while back that when they were saying about who they had, who he had beaten, it was mentioned that Bray's name was on there, but he never officially beat Bray because, of course, he pinned Strowman. It was just because he took Bray's title, and that's obviously where it came from because it had Bray right at the top of when his reign started as Universal Champion.
You know what moment was going through my head with that? When he returned at SummerSlam and he was on top of Wyatt, punching him and beating him.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he did that, then speared him, then pinned him. But the two different shows. I just watched it. It is indeed Braun Strowman.
Yeah. So,
Payback 3 years later. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
It has a lot of backstory.
Yeah, then Roman finally gets the win over Bray in that, and they can then obviously close that chapter down, and then they can both move on to other things. Then either Roman can then go back to the bloodline thing, because we all know Roman's going to disappear again. If he does work Payback, he's going to disappear again until the Rumble. Be back in for the Rumble, and disappear again for a couple of months, I expect. So,
which I will say he deserves it. I mean, that may not be the popular response, but I think Roman Reigns just honestly does deserve a break if he's able to continue this kind of streak. That's just me. But do we see him Judgment Day needing a new leader? I mean, does Bray fit that criteria? I mean, it's interesting to think about, but I don't know that I want him with Judgment Day. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, no, they don't. If anything, JD McDonough's coming in, and that's if anything, JD McDonough's going to be in. And that he's going to obviously he'll take over if need be for anything and that, and he'll be the one, and they'll do a storyline where Finn gets kicked out and replaced by JD, and then JD takes over the group or something like that. But that's what I can see. I can't see Bray. They don't need Bray to be the leader of Judgment Day. They don't need it.
No, I'm in agreement with you, sir. Go ahead.
I don't think Bray's the kind of guy to be the leader of the Judgment Day. I don't see it.
Bray's better alone. Yeah, Bray's better alone without the others behind him, because you've got to think. Because if you've then got Bray there with the likes of Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and stuff like that, that's other bigger names that will sort of overshadow him. Whereas if you've then just got Bray by himself, if you've got Bray and then Bray's obviously leading the whole storyline of him, and heck, even Uncle Howdy, so the Bray and Uncle Howdy stuff. If they do that, that's sort of their own sort of storylines, and Bray can work it all round. So Bray's like the top focus over everyone else. Whereas, like I was saying, if you've then got the likes of Rhea and you've got the likes of Damian and stuff like that. And even if Finn's still in there, or again, if JD McDonough goes in today, you've got those storylines as well, which is going to overpower anything to do with Bray and the Fiend and that. And WWE
makes him feel like a special attraction. He doesn't need all the other talent around him. He possibly don't need the Faction Bobby's breakdowns anymore. You want to insert to the conversation regarding Bray or Judgment Day? This whole question Alex posed, which is fascinating with respect to him, but I'm kind of with Zero. I don't see why they need each other.
It's a weird match to me. Like Bray's kind of if the Fiend were to come back, the Fiend's kind of like on his own. He doesn't really need a group, to me at least. If what I'm saying is making sense, like he doesn't need like he does all of his dirty work. He doesn't need backup, you know. That's just me. I don't know.
The thing is as well that people need to get is I know that this whole Wyatt 6 thing obviously started up the whole faction thing, but the Wyatt 6 thing was never a faction. The Wyatt 6 was the 6 personas of Wyatt. So you've got obviously Funhouse Bray, you've got the Fiend, you've then got all the other ones as well, haven't you? And that's what it all is. So Bray doesn't need a faction because Bray himself is that faction. He's got he's got all the different personas. So you can have face Bray, you can have heel Bray, you can have whatever really, can't you? And that all within the same, all done by one person for it, which they've done that before on previous occasions. So Bray doesn't need a faction.
Yeah, they have.
So,
yeah, it's more intriguing as personalities, but I will say hopefully they're going to present it better because it started intriguing, then it kind of got too repetitive to where I normally can stay with the story, but that was my critique of this last run. Extreme Rules, I was all hyped up, even if I wasn't the biggest supporter for Bray, and then it got Once Uncle Howdy, even that was mysterious to me, and then it got a little silly, and then I'm like, okay. After the LA Knight fiasco, the Pitch Black Mountain Dew match, and him jumping into flames, I'm like, I'm done. Okay, whatever hope I had, maybe it's best for Bray just to leave. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I had to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then they started beating up Lashley, and he disappeared not soon after the Rumble, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, because they just did that Muscle Man video, and then but there was nothing after it. I don't believe.
Yeah, so then he went off, then he disappeared then after that. So yeah.
Right. Hey, is there anything else? I mean, I know we had Collision. I know we're talking mainly SummerSlam, but we did have CM Punk Samoa Joe. Do you guys have any thoughts on that or what you heard?
CM Punk not putting over people? I'm shocked. Not really. I was like, oh, great. This could be
your favorite?
Yeah. Somebody tweeted, I don't remember who it was. They were like, oh, most likely Samoa Joe's going to win. I'm like, you must be new here. CM Punk doesn't lose. Unless he gets injured and vacates the belt. Those are his only 2 losses.
Yeah.
At least being Wait, he didn't even lose. He wins, vacates the belt, so he doesn't even lose the belt. It's like, all right, I don't know. Collision's kind of fallen off for me. I know it's only like a month in, but like the first episode was pretty good, and then ever since then, I don't know.
To be fair, I've only watched the first episode, but Zero, I mean, going to Bobby's point, I mean, how do you feel about Collision dropping off in ratings and getting the revisit to Punk Samoa Joe? Were you for it or kind of against it?
Well, like what Bobby said, Punk ain't going to put anyone over, so, he's, Samoa Joe's definitely not winning. That's basically not happening at all. And going back to the thing of the ratings and that drop in, about 300k, I think people have decided that Collision isn't for them because I think that's about the difference. It's over 200, it's over 200k or 300k difference from the ratings from the first week till now. So, and it's still dropping every week for it.
Yeah, big difference.
But no,
I mean, do we feel it's because it's on Saturday night? And even though wrestling traditionally was on Saturday night, the times are different, though. You've got college football coming up. You've still got baseball, other forms of entertainment competing on weekends, and people just out doing things. So it's just, that's always a unique circumstance you're going to run into when you present a show on a Saturday night.
Not everyone's going to be dedicated enough to sit home on a Saturday night and watch 2 hours of wrestling. That's why I said to somebody, I can't remember who it was, they should switch Collision and ROH because ROH runs on the app on Thursdays. Put ROH on Saturdays because you're not worried about ratings or anything. It's your own app. It's not like it matters. And I know Thursday nights get tricky with football and all that, but you're only contending with pro football for 17 weeks a year. Saturday nights, you're contending with every week. People going out, college football, pro football at some points, baseball, basketball, hockey, the Final Four. I think they should have just switched it to Thursday night. Like, it would have been much easier. Like sure, like I said, your ratings would have been down those 16 weeks because of Thursday night football. It happens. You weren't gonna do well anyway, but you got 36 more weeks to have good ratings.
No, it's fair observation. Zero. I mean, any thoughts on the Saturday night slot affecting Collision?
Well, Impact can run on Thursdays perfectly fine. I mean, yeah, they obviously their ratings aren't that great, but they still have their loyal fan base, and their ratings sort of stay the same. So even on Thursday night, no matter what week it is, they always have sort of around the same. It's only like a couple of, sometimes it's like, less than 100 viewers difference some weeks and that. So I mean, if Impact can do that and they can monitor that and they can maintain that on a Thursday, then yeah, possibly moving that over and stuff might help. But
Impact, but they're not even working with Impact anymore. Whatever, I guess Impact is on TV, but where else are you gonna go? Wednesday's your Dynamite show.
Yeah.
Friday you have Rampage. Monday, Tuesday NXT. There's only so many days in the week.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Where do you find the time? I mean, as much as we like wrestling, we're fans. My goodness, there's so many shows on, and when they announce it, I can't. I don't know whether to get excited or go, have disappointment because I'm like, to Bobby's point, where do you find the time to keep up with it all?
Plus, as well, you've got to think with Collision on Saturdays. If WWE do a pay-per-view, Collision's not going to get hardly anything. Because especially at SummerSlam, for example, when SummerSlam's on in 4 weeks' time, Collision on that Saturday is going to get absolutely destroyed. Because how are they going to compete with SummerSlam unless they move to days again, and then they move it to either a Sunday or again, like what you said, to a Thursday or something like that, or whatever it is, But that week they're going to get absolutely annihilated, and those ratings going up against SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam will demolish them. That is not going to be a good night for Collision. Yeah. And it's not a knock against AEW. It's just common sense. I mean, you've got WWE SummerSlam.
It's a pay-per-view. Well, I mean, technically you could watch both at the same time. Technically. Will you? Probably not. Can you? Yes.
When you've got someone such as like Logan Paul in that appearing at SummerSlam, you ain't going to be wanting to watch bloody CM Punk on the other channel or anything like that, really. You've got to
CM Punk beating everyone.
Yeah, you ain't going to want to watch that. Whereas, I mean, the only other option which they would have for it is if they put Collision on before SummerSlam. So if they pulled it forward and they put Collision on the 2 hours before SummerSlam or however long it is.
Yeah, instead of running it head to head. That's a possibility. Yeah, that's another astute observation. Well, gentlemen, is there anything else? I think we've covered all the topics. I added that little bit because I want to be fair to AEW and some of the other promotions, but we can't help it. SummerSlam's coming up, and everybody's talking about whether we'll see The Fiend, Randy Orton, and whoever else. But, I mean, is there anything else before we leave and sign off?
No, I don't know.
No, I can't think of anything.
No, that's okay.
There we go.
I was about to say, please hit that button, subscribe. You guys plug where the platforms everybody can find you. That is very vital. We need to remember to let everybody know, keep them informed, where you can find WrestleBuddy Zero News, Bobby's Breakdown Zero. Any platforms you want to let the audience know where they can find Zero News?
We're on Twitter under @NewsZero. Again, it's the same thing on Instagram and also their new thing now. What are they called? What's the new Instagram thing called now? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Threads.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Threads.
Threads, that's it. Yeah, Threads. Yeah, we're the same at on that as well. Yeah, that's it basically. I will say as well is if anyone, I don't know if they've obviously watched it, but on this week's show that me and Bobby just done, we played a little trailer at the end of it. A little movie trailer thing. Little plug here for an upcoming show is the actual director of said film. I'm arranging for him to actually come on to Uncut and that, and obviously answer any questions and stuff like that. And he might also bring along a couple of these stars of the show, such as which I mentioned, which he's got a load of wrestlers in it because he's got James Ellsworth, he's got Randy Orton's dad as well. So you might actually see a Bob Orton and stuff like that on there because he could be doing it from set, as they're obviously still like wrapping up and stuff and doing bits and pieces of that. But I'm just waiting to finalise a few things with him. But that's an upcoming show for us. Is we will have the director of the film on that we previewed for him on this week's Uncut just gone. He'll be on at some point in the future.
Very exciting news. I'm glad you all were promoting that. Always great stuff by Zero News, Bobby's Breakdowns. Any more Bobby's Breakdowns you need to plug? I mean, before we go,
follow me on Instagram at Bobby's Breakdowns, just like that. That's the one I'll respond to, and it's open to the public, so you don't have to wait for me to request you. I have a funny video out right now. I just posted it Wednesday, I believe it was. It's a gender reveal, and it's a wrestling gender reveal, and I'm one of the wrestling babies. So definitely go check that out. I sweated my butt off in that costume, but it was an interesting time in my life, to say the least. Fun video, and yeah, it's really funny. Zero told me the other day he cracked up watching it. Yeah, it's definitely something to see because I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't do it and see it with my own eyes. But yeah, go check that out, and follow me on Instagram. That's about it.
I think it's good. No, check these guys out. Also, check out, like, follow, subscribe what WrestleBuddy.com is doing as well. Want to definitely plug them. I better, or I may lose my job here.
Yeah.
Anyways, there'll be some bad humor. That's why I didn't make it late night. But for Bobby's Breakdowns, Zero from Zero News, I'm Tyler Peters on behalf of WrestleBuddy.com. Where's LA Knight when you need him? Just like we started the show, let us talk to you. Yeah, it's hard to believe episode 4, and we are live, pal. And we'll talk to you all later. And stay safe out there. All right. Bye now.